Torrhen Stark bent the knee on the banks of the Trident, securing the north for Aegon. It was time once again for Aegon, Visenya and Rhaenys, his queens, to part company once more, each with their own mission. Aegon himself turned south once again, marching slowly towards Oldtown in the Reach, the seat of House Hightower, arguably currently the most powerful house in the Reach. Whilst his two sisters mounted their own dragons, Visenya for the Vale of Arryn and Rhaenys for Sunspear and the harsh deserts of Dorne. In theory, should their missions be successful, Aegon's conquest would be completed, with the whole of Westeros secure under the might of House Targaryen. The Eyrie is impregnable. You saw it yourself. No enemy could reach us up here. Liza Arryn to Catelyn Stark. A Game of Thrones Chapter 34. Catelyn 6. The capture of the Vale was always going to be a tricky affair. The location of the Eyrie made it near impossible to attack and capture by any conventional means, at least without shedding an unimaginable amount of blood trying to get past the Gate of the Moon and up the Giant's Lance to the Eyrie itself. Thus, Visenya Targaryen would attempt a different approach. When she left her siblings, she took only her dragon, Vhagar, leaving the now large Targaryen army behind. The Regent Queen of the Vale, Shara Arryn, had strengthened the defences of Oldtown and moved a strong host to the Bloody Gate and tripled the size of the garrison in the stone, snow and sky way castles that guarded the approach to the Eyrie itself. But as Visenya had foreseen, all of these defenders proved useless against Vhagar, who flew above them all and landed in the Eyrie's inner courtyard. Shara rushed out to confront Visenya with a dozen guards at her back, but much to her horror, the Dragon Queen was with Ronald Arryn, the boy king, seated on her knee, staring at Vhagar, wonderstruck. Visenya, a grim and confident smile across her face. While the exact words of what happened next are lost to us, we do know that Ronald looked to his mother and begged her to let him go flying with the Dragon Lady. There were no threats spoken, no rage-filled words exchanged, only Visenya's knowing smile. Shara, well aware of the position she now found herself in, simply smiled back as she exchanged courtesies with Visenya, all the while Ronald was transfixed with the mighty dragon. Then, the now Lady Shara sent for the 3 crowns, her own regent's coronet, her son's small crown, and the falcon crown of the mountain in the Vale that the Arryn kings had worn for thousands of years, surrendering them to Queen Visenya and House Targaryen, along with the swords of her garrison. It was said that afterwards, Little King flew 3 times around the summit of the Giant's Lance and landed to find himself a little lord. Thus did Visenya Targaryen bring the Vale of Arryn into her brother's realm without shedding a single drop of blood, a feat that is often overlooked when talking about the valour of Aegon's conquest. He did not conquer here. Elsewhere he burnt his foes, him and his sisters, but here we melted away before them, leaving only stone and sand for them to burn, and round the dragons went, snapping at their tails for the want of any other food till they were tied in knots. Vale and Toland, to Daemon Sand, the Winds of Winter sample chapters, Arianne 1. Rhaenys Targaryen had no such easy conquest that her sister had faced, as she was sent to deal with Dorne, a kingdom that would remain a thorn in the side of House Targaryen for the better part of the next 200 years. A small host of Dornish spearmen guarded the Prince's Pass, the gateway through the Red Mountains into the endless sands of Dorne. Sensibly, Rhaenys did not engage them. Rather, she flew above the pass, above the red sands, above the white, and descended upon the castle of Vaith to demand its submission like she had done so many times before in the Crownlands. This time, much to her surprise, she only found the castle empty and abandoned. It seemingly had been like this for a long while. In a small, dusty town beneath its walls, only women and children and older men remained, not the people Rhaenys had come to force into submission. When she asked where the lords had gone, they would only say, away, and could not elaborate any further. It is debated to this day if the small folk were simply feigning ignorance, or genuinely did not know the location of their fighting men. Rhaenys followed the river downstream to God's Grace, but it was too deserted. On she flew until the Greenblood met with the summer sea, where Rhaenys came upon the planky town, where hundreds of pole boats, fishing skiffs and barges houseboats and hulks sat baking in the sun, joined together with ropes and chains and planks to make a floating city. Yet, only a few old women and children appeared to peer up at her as Meraxes circled overhead. It very much seemed like every fighting man of Dorne had vanished into the sands. Unable to find a foe, eventually Rhaenys flew to Sunspear, the ancient seat of House Martell, where she found the Princess of Dorne waiting in her abandoned castle. Meria Martell was 80 years of age and had ruled Dorne for 60 of those years. She was very fat, essentially blind, and almost bald, her skin sallow and sagging. Argilac the Arrogant, the old Storm King who had warred with Meria countless times, named her the Yellow Toad of Dorne, but neither age nor blindness had dulled her wit. "I will not fight you," Princess Meria told Rhaenys, "nor will I need you. Dorne has no king. Tell your brother that." "I shall," Rhaenys replied. "But we will come again, Princess, and next time we shall come with fire and blood." "Your words," said Princess Meria. "Ours are unbowed, unbent, unbroken. You may burn us, my lady, but you will not bend us, break us, or make us bow. This is Dorne. You are not wanted here. Return at your peril." Thus, Queen and Princess parted, and Dorne remained unconquered, for how can you conquer a place when its very people dissolve into the shadows waiting to rebel against you the moment you turn your gaze the other way? As history shows us, both the words of House Martell and Targaryen would come true. Rhaenys would indeed bring fire and blood to Dorne, but Dorne would remain unbowed, unbent, and unbroken. Something that really stands out to me about Aegon's conquest is Visenya Targaryen has this reputation for being this harsh, astute but skilled warrior. Yet the taking of the Vale without spilling a single drop of blood is often greatly overlooked when talking about the conquest. Don't get me wrong, she effectively gave Shara Arryn no choice in that moment, as she had Ronald Arryn under her control, but it does seem a really well thought out and executed plan. My theory is Visenya's reputation and her more morally good deeds get greatly overlooked not just by the in-world historians, but by fans as well, thanks to Visenya's role in the rise of Maegor the Cruel and the negative rumours about her being a user of black magic during his reign. Meanwhile, Rhaenys' trip to Dorne, while it does also end peacefully for now, really gives us a lot of information about the Dornish and why they are about to become the annoying southern neighbours of House Targaryen for the next 200 years. Rhaenys very well could have tried to take the castles in Dorne, maybe even kill Meria Martell, but she knows from what she's seen so far that the moment they leave a garrison in control of a castle or an area, all of a sudden, thousands of Dornishmen would emerge from the shadows to take back their land sooner or later. And this is exactly what ends up happening during the First Dornish War and its aftermath. And while the Dornish uprising is not instant, within a few months to a year, they did expel House Targaryen from Dorne, at great cost to the Dragon Lords.